Om Shanti. Good morning. So today we are going through this Murli of 15th September 1974. And in this Murli, Bab Dada has shared with us what is the final stage of our Brahman life. That is to become an Avyakt angel. And in this entire Murli, Baba has shared that how to become an angel or a Avyakt angel. What is the symbol or what is the consciousness that we have to stay in throughout the day, especially when we are in action, and what are the efforts that we have to make in the similar way as Brahma Baba, took what the efforts that Brahma Baba took, or what efforts Maharathis have to take. So let us go through this Murli. Today we are going to read two Murlis. So this is the first one, and after this there is another Murli of 5th December 1974. So the first Murli that we're going to read today is 15th September 1974. And the title of today's Murli is "The ultimate objective of making effort is to live as an Avyakt angel. At present, it is the time for you children to make the ultimate effort to reach your final stage. All the Maharathi children who are instruments should also become examples in front of everyone in their speed of effort. What is the most elevated effort? Whom will you follow in this? Yes. Whom will you follow in this? So, for example, in Sakar form, you saw how effort should be made and what is called effort. पुरुषार्थ क्या है और वो कैसे करना है. So we saw that. On seeing them, the efforts of many other souls became simple. Do you know what the final effort is? In the beginning, you made effort to finish body consciousness with awareness of being Chaturbhuj, the four-armed image, especially when in the beginning of this yagya, where we had all dadis as small children. So there were no brothers in the yagya, many brothers in the yagya, very limited, very, very few. And that time, all the activities were done by all the sisters. So that time, that consciousness or the body consciousness that I am a female or I am, I don't have that much power. So in order to remove that thought, that belief, Baba gave this particular, help everyone to stay in this consciousness, this awareness that I am a Chaturbhuj. Then through this, you were able to remove the consciousness of being a woman, as well as any weaknesses or cowardice, and you thereby became fearless and powerful. So in the beginning, you made practical effort to finish body consciousness by having the awareness of being Chaturbhuj. Whilst walking and moving around or talking to someone, you had the intoxication that you were not a woman, but that you were Chaturbhuj. Both these sanskars and both these powers became combined, and through that, you are able to carry out both tasks. In the same way, what ultimate objective should you keep in your awareness through which you will automatically develop those qualifications? What is the ultimate objective of making effort? It is to live as an Avyakt angel. So for Brahmins, what is the ultimate objective of making effort is so Brahman, so Farishta. So Brahmans to become an Avyakt angel. What is the Avyakt form? To be angelic. In this also, you should have your own form of light in front of you as your objective. So Baba is actually helping us visualize and see the image of an angel, how angel looks like, and how to have that image personally for each one of us. And Baba has explained it very well today. So let us hear it from Baba. So Baba said that you have to have that form of light in front of you as your objective. By keeping that in front of you, you will feel that that is your form in an aura of light. You see your Avyakt form in the subtle region. So what difference do you see between the Avyakt, subtle, and the Vyakt, that is the corporeal? The corporeal form is an aura of the five elements, and the subtle form is an aura of light. So there is a difference in the physical form and the subtle form. You do have the form of light, but there should also be nothing but light all around you, as though that form is visible in an aura of light. It should be just as when you look at the sun, all around you see light from the rays of the sun, and in the middle, you see the form of the sun itself. There is the light of the sun, but all around. The light of the sun also spreads everywhere and is visible in the form of an aura. So you see that there is a light, and in the center, you'll see that image, right? Or the form of sun. So in the same way, it is as though you see special light amidst the light. In this way, although you have the aim as a soul of being the form of light, in the Avyakt form, you're also in an aura of light. You should be able to have the awareness of your form being surrounded with light, and it should also be visible everywhere. So are you all able to see it as Baba is explaining how an angel looks like, or how the form of light is, or how my light should look like, how the light should spread all around me, and in the center also they should see that very powerful form of light, the subtle image full of light, an angel, Avyakt angel. So when you look in a mirror, you're able to experience seeing your form clearly. In the same way, that form of yours should be clearly seen and experienced in the mirror of knowledge. Whilst you're walking and moving around and talking to others, you should experience yourself as a form of light. So when now coming in action, how you should experience it and how others should experience it or see it. That you are an angel walking around, that you, an angel, are talking to someone. Only then you will be able to influence others with your awareness and stage. Now, further Baba said, whilst performing any task, increase this awareness. Okay. And what is the consciousness that I have to stay in? Baba has also mentioned that very clearly. Remind yourself or increase this awareness. I am an angel who has stepped onto this earth as an instrument for this particular task. But I'm actually a resident of the subtle region. Very wonderful. Okay, let us remember this. I am an angel who has stepped onto this earth as an instrument for this particular task, but I'm actually a resident of the subtle region. Now increase this awareness. I have incarnated for the sake of this task. That is, it is as though I have come from my home on this earth to carry out this task, and I will return home as soon as the task is completed. So I'm here to just perform that task, and again I have to go back home. Every task. Just as when the father comes He has the awareness that he has come from his home to carry out a particular task, and that he has to return home. In the same way, each of you should increase your awareness that you are an incarnation that has incarnated. At the moment, I am a Brahmin, and later I will become a deity. In fact, this is a gross form of awareness, because even this is a corporeal stage now. And the physical form, like Brahman is also here on this earth, and the deities are also in this earth. So now we have to actually, remove this body consciousness or this awareness that I am a body. And hence Baba said, now all of you should have an angelic stage, because it is only after being an angelic that you will be easily be able to become incorporeal. So from becoming an angel, I am already detached from the body or the bodily connections that I have. And once I'm an angel, okay, it is easy for me to become that point of light and go back home, the incorporeal form. The Father became angelic from being corporeal. Then from being angelic, he will become incorporeal. And then he will once again have a corporeal form. Now, all of you also have to reach the stage of being residents of the subtle region. For only then you will be able to return with the Father. Why did this part of going from the corporeal to the Avyakt form to take place? To stabilize all of you in your Avyakt stage, because you have not yet reached that stage. This is now the final effort that remains. Through attaining this form, you will be able to grant visions. There are many points of intoxication for the corporeal form. For example, I am an elevated soul. I am a Brahmin. I am a Shakti. You will experience intoxication and happiness through this awareness. What is that awareness? I am an elevated soul. I am a Brahmin. I am a Shakti. But until you experience yourself in an angelic form, in an aura of light, others will not be able to have a vision of you. So very important is the consciousness, that awareness, and how do I visualize or see myself? This is because whatever visions of the deity form devotees have, that will only be possible when you stay in your aura of light whilst walking and moving around. Visions cannot be granted without light. Only when you stabilize yourself in your form of light will others have a vision of you through the influence of your form of light. It has been portrayed in the scriptures that when Kans, Demon King, tried to kill a Kumari, she flew away. She became one who appeared as a vision and spoke from the ether. In the same way, others should have visions of you so that they would experience sound coming from the ether from you, a goddesses, and they would want to listen to what that goddesses or Shakti is going to say them from the ether. This newness should now be visible in you. Words should not be ordinary, but there should be the experience of words being spoken from the ether. In Hindi, we say Akashvani, right? So this is why you're told that it is now the time to become volcanic. Your parts of being gopis have now finished. The parts of the Maharathis who are moving forward are now automatically changing into doing service in this way. In the beginning, you used to give lectures, etc. And you used to give courses. Now you speak very little as a chairperson, and your companions give the course, etc. At present, the service to attract others, to put zeal and enthusiasm into them, and give them courage, still remains to be done. And so, there is a difference. As you go further ahead, it will be experienced as though someone is speaking from the ether. They will say that you are an incarnation, that you are not an ordinary bodily being, but an incarnation that has emerged. Just as when people have a vision of goddesses, it is as though she appears in front of them and speaks elevated versions and then disappears. So too, this is the stage and the objective of the effort that you should now be making. So especially when there is a vision that someone sees, there is a form of light which appears first, and in that light they see the image of that god or goddesses that they're worshipping. So Baba wants us to see or be in that stage of light. So you should now be going beyond all physical activities. Through signals, listen, give a direction, and then return to the subtle region. Just like you saw and experienced the Sakar form doing, he came down, gave directions, heard everything, and then went up, above, and beyond. There should be a visible difference like that of day and night between the activities of the beginning and the end. Now your responsibilities will increase even more. Don't think that you will become an angel when your responsibilities decrease. No. Responsibilities and the expansion of service will increase everywhere even more. Just as just as service in the foreign lands has now increased and expanded, in the same way, all the different types of service will also definitely increase. In the scriptures, there is a reference to the upliftment of every type of soul. This happened practically, and this is why it is remembered in the scriptures. All this will happen. At present, you are sitting in one place, but later you will have to look after 10 places. You will not be able to sit in one place. At present, you stay in one place for 6 to 8 months, but later you will have to be able to do service in all 4 corners as a lighthouse. And Baba also explained today very well what is the job of a lighthouse, how it works, or how it should work rather. So the main serviceable instruments, the beloved jewels, who are to claim the throne of the fortune of the kingdom, will continue to give light in all 4 directions, like a revolving lighthouse. There has to be the practical form of lighthouse. One light will give light to many others. Even if in name you are sitting in one place, it is not possible for someone who is a master of the unlimited world to be responsible for a limited area. A lighthouse, which is positioned in one fixed place, doesn't serve just one place, but spreads its light in all 4 directions. In the same way, you may be in just one place, but benefit from your specialities and powers has to be spread all around. Until now, your specialities have only been benefiting one place. Does the sun give light to just one area? So your special rays of powers should also be spread in all 4 directions. How else would you be proved to be a master almighty authorities and stars of knowledge? To be a master son of knowledge, Master Gyan Surya, means to be like the Father. Whilst being stars, it also means to have a stage similar to the Father's. Only the 8 jewels will attain the stage. If a star spreads its light in just one area or sparkles and just gives light just to its own area, the star would not be called a master son or a son of knowledge, similar to the Father. Unless you reach the stage equal to the Father's, you cannot claim the throne that belongs to the Father. Therefore, make your stage such that service increases. So staying at one place, you just have to spread the light. Only by being a spinner of the discus will you become an emperor who is a ruler of the globe. By being one who spins the discus here, you will become the ruler of the globe. Here, only when you are a spinner of the discus of light and the discus that spreads light in service, you will be called one who spins the discus. Only those who are spinners of the discus can become the rulers of the globe. So as you walk and move around, everyone will be able to see a discus of light as though you're seeing it with their physical eyes. As though they are seeing it with their physical eyes, and they will be amazed and wonder whether what they are seeing is a reality or whether it is something that they alone can see. Your form of light and crown of light will be so common that everyone will be able to see you wearing a crown of light as you walk and move around. It was a common thing to experience light from the corporeal form. Everyone was able to see him in that form, as though they are actually seeing it with their physical eyes. I'll share one wonderful experience of our sister. She was serving in the hospital as a doctor, and when Dadi was admitted. So I'll just share this experience in short and continue. When she went in Dadi's room, Gulzar Dadi, when she was admitted in Mumbai, and Dr. Hina, she shared this experience. And she said that I was actually having no knowledge about what Brahma Kumaris is or who the patient is. So she went in the room. She, did a regular checkup, and she came out of the room, and she started asking everyone, like, okay, did you notice something different in this patient? And everyone said, like, nothing. What happened? And she said, there is something different in this patient. It's not like as usual patients that we meet. And then others asked, like, okay, what happened? And she said, like, whenever I go and see this patient, instead of eyes, I don't see eyes of like a physical eyes that you see of other patients. I see only light. And that is one thing, that experience attracted her to Baba. And that is where, like, Baba is saying that, as you are in that consciousness and that awareness, everyone will not see you as, you are, but they'll only experience or see the light. So that is what Baba is saying, that you'll see your form of light, and the crown of light will become so common that everyone will be able to see you wearing a crown of light as you walk and move around. It was a common thing to experience light from the corporeal form. Everyone was able to see him in that form as though they are actually seeing it with their physical eyes. You will also have that experience. While seeing this, they themselves, others will begin to disappear. Where am I and what am I seeing? Sometimes when you used to experience this through the corporeal form, you even used to be amazed with yourself. At my feet here, are my feet here or in the incorporeal world or in the subtle region? Because you only see the light. And that inner consciousness and the awareness that we have can actually make so much, difference, is something unbelievable. But that is what, like, Brahma Baba did, or even Dadis showed it to us, that it is quite possible. Just as you had this experience through the Sakar form, so others will now experience this through you. And only then will you reach the stage of being equal. That will only be possible when, in between, you continue to bring this form of yours into your awareness. Sakar Baba made this incognito effort. In the same way, all of you also have to make this incognito effort or incognito hard work. Do you pay this much attention? Even whilst having tension, there should be attention. Wonderful line, no? Even whilst having tension, there should be attention. At present, you still have time to rest during the day and night. But later, there will be an end to taking a rest. However, the more you stabilize yourself in the Avyakt light form, the more you practice remaining beyond the body. Even if you become bodiless for 2 or 4 minutes, the more it will feel like you have had 4 hours rest. The time will come when instead of sleeping, you will simply be bodiless for 4 to 5 minutes, so that just as the body receives its rest, nourishment through sleeping, in the same way you will receive this nourishment. The body will be the same old body, recharged and very active. Of course, your old karmic accounts will still exist, but there will simply be this addition. By making this awareness of the form of light strong, you will become the form of light when it comes to settling accounts. When an injection is given, you see a difference in 5 minutes. And even when a sleeping tablet is taken, all distress is finished. In the same way, you should also think that you are taking the nourishment of sleep. This practice is for bringing about such a stage. At Amrit Vela too, have the special practice of having incarnated. Sometimes consider yourself to be a bodiless resident of the supreme abode, and that you have incarnated in the Avyakt form. And sometimes consider yourself to be incorporeal. You should practice having these 3 stages in such a way that it feels you are going from one room to another. So at Amrit Vela, there should be the special experience of claiming blessings of being bodiless. Acha, due to the stage of ascent, there is benefit for everyone. What is the practical form of the stage of ascent in which there is benefit for everyone, through which you would be able to see this effort you need to make for the stage of ascent? Benefit for everyone proves that it is the stage of ascent for everyone. In fact, that is the thermometer. In the beginning, all of you had the parts of being goddesses of coolness, whereas your parts now are to be goddesses of intense fire. At first, people came into close relationship through love, whereas you now have to become embodiments of power. At present, there is simply the influence of virtues and love, or the influence of knowledge, but they should experience this to be your practical form, and that you are not an ordinary Shakti. Just as the rays of the sun spreads, in the same way, everyone all around should experience the rays of your stage of being a master almighty authority in the form of powers and specialities. If you carry out your activities while seated on the seat of a destroyer of obstacles, obstacles will not even come in front of you. Acha. So this was the first Murli that we have gone through, and how Baba has clearly explained what an Avyakt angel is, what are the efforts that we have to make, how do we visualize ourselves as an angel, and how to, or in what awareness should we come into action, and how to follow Father Brahma. And Baba gave special instruction to the Maharathis that how to change your role, okay, from not just to give lecture, but how you have to give a very little lessons, and attract others with a lot of zeal and enthusiasm. So this Murli is the complete visualization or the experience of how an Avyakt angel is. So there is another Murli, a short Murli that we'll continue with, of 5th December 1974. And the title of this Murli is Gain Victory Over Time by Changing Your Wasteful Thoughts into Powerful Thoughts. So what is the Avyakt meeting? To become the same as the one you're meeting. So there shouldn't be any difference in you meeting in subtle region or the physical form. So to have an Avyakt meeting means to adopt an Avyakt form, the same as the father's Avyakt, the same as the father's. Avyakt means where there is no feeling of the corporeal. Have you become like this? Have you created a stage where there isn't the slightest attraction towards the physical country, the physical body, or physical things? The first promise you made is, I listen to you alone and I speak to you alone. You have to fulfill this first promise. But unless you stabilize yourself in the subtle or incorporeal stage for the whole day and night, would you be able to experience being with Bap Dada? That is, would you be able to fulfill your promise throughout the whole day? For how long do you fulfill this promise? Whomsoever you are going to meet, you have to make your own stage according to their stage and meet them at their place. You have to change both your place and your stage, for only then will you be able to fulfill this promise. To have corporeal feelings or to have feelings of devotion for any person or any object, whereby you feel that this is very much loved or very good. To have this feeling for any physical object or bodily person is also like a desire. And for as long as you have any desire, you're unable to oppose Maya completely. As long as you cannot oppose her, like samna karne ki shakti, what Baba is saying, you cannot become equal, that is saman. That is, you cannot fulfill your promise. In the pictures, Krishna has been portrayed as sitting on the globe of the world. So create such an image of your practical stage to go beyond this corporeal world and your old body. To go beyond corporeal feelings and physical objects means to be standing over them as a detached observer. When the globe is shown under someone's feet or someone is shown sitting on the globe, that is a portrayal of the mastery or right over the world. Therefore, make such an image of yourself where you only come into this world, come into this old world from the Avyakt to Vyakt, according to your own desires or on the basis of thoughts created by your own self, and not as a result of being subservient to the attraction of physical objects or people. When you take a lift up, the switch is under your own control as to whether you go to the first floor or the second floor. What is the result when you switch, when the switch is beyond your control? You get stuck in between. In the same way, keep the switch of your consciousness under your own control. Have you claimed such rights whereby you are able to set your place and stage how you want, when you want, and for as long as you want? Have you gained the victory over time? Kal par Vijay. So Kal means time. Are you victorious over time? If the Pandav army and the Shakti army only attain this at the end, then the power of silence is lower than the power of science, because science has already conquered these elements. In the exhibition, you show pictures of how Ravan conquered the 5 elements, and the time is shown as one of those elements. Since science, which is the power of Ravan, has conquered the elements quite a lot, then it means science is more powerful than you. Does it not? The power of science is proving this in practice. Will the power of silence show its proof at the end? To conquer time means to conquer death. The percentage of this is very low at the moment. Although you do stabilize yourself in the incorporeal stage or Avyakt stage, you're not able to stabilize yourself in that stage for as long as you want. You have the experience of that stage. You even work hard for it, but you're still not able to conquer time. What is the reason for that? You think that you will sit in powerful remembrance for half an hour. You even sit for half an hour and also make plans, but you're not able to stabilize yourself in that stage for as long as the time you spend in thinking about that stage. You have the thought to push button to the third floor for the third floor, but you haven't conquered time. You're only able to reach the second floor, the first floor, or the ground floor. This is because you have the practice of wasting a lot of time throughout the day. By paying attention to the wasteful, you will become powerful and successful in gaining the victory over time. As long as you waste a lot of time, you will not be powerful or successful in gaining victory over the time. This is why you're not able to experience the meeting or to constantly fulfill the promise that you want to. So now, create your image of the fortune of being constantly victorious over all the over all the elements and over time. Only when you change every second from wasteful to powerful, you will become victorious. Acha, to such constantly victorious souls, to those who have all rights and who constantly fulfill their promise, to those who change the wasteful into powerful, and who constantly remain beyond the corporeal and stabilize themselves in the Avyakt stage, to such lucky and close stars, love, remembrance, and namaste from Bab Dada. So let us also give a lot of love and remembrance to our beloved Bab Dada. And we'll sit in silence for a minute. Om Shanti. So now let us move to the churning of today's Murli. So what were the points that really touched your heart, your soul? You can share it for the first and the second Murli together.
Om Shanti. Wonderful. Both the Murlis were very insightful, deeply insightful, and wonderful. Practical manual of how to remain in a Avyakt stage, and not only one stage but also explore all the three floors. That I really like that example Baba gave of a lift, where we are in total control of which floor we want to go to, and how much time we want to spend our time in that floor. And so that consciousness of the switch has to always remain there, so that we can actually go to the floor which we want, how long we want. So that example really is a very which touched me. Apart from other things, they're very this point I just thought I will share, that we can control which ground floor also. We can be beyond sound while doing karma. We can be connected with Baba. Then first floor is the subtle world, where we are in the Avyakt stage, and And the first floor, the second floor is the incorporeal stage, which Baba touched upon in the first Murli also. Om Shanti.
Hmm.
Om Shanti, brother.
Om Shanti.
The words which I can think of is Behad. Behad, it's going to be unlimited. And it's going to be, and this, the service is going to be, which Baba, I remember, used to mention in the Murlis, Vihang Seva. The first Murli, I have not yet got out from the first Murli, because the kind of doses, sometimes when your tonic or your dose, it just goes in and in. It takes time for the body to register and then catch it. I'm still in the intoxication of the first Murli. Like always in such stages, I remember Baba used to mention about two things. That in the end, what we need is the complete form. And there, when he speaks about the complete form, I remember Baba used to give so much, like he gave today: appear, disappear. So invisible form, subtle form, double light form, angelic form. And then he also mentions powerful form. So many, the complete form which we say, it has to include all this. And very rightly, when it was spoken about incarnation, I remember 2 days back, it was there in the blessing where Baba says, you are an angel, you are a resident of the sky, you are an incarnation, and you have incarnated on this earth. And that has been emphasized on today's Murli. So there were just 2 points, main 2 points in the first Murli: light, angelic form. In that light, Baba is how nicely giving us. See, in the sun, what we do when we were young, we were taught about, to hold your fingers in such a way at say 11:30 in the morning and observe the sun. At that, and that's good for the eyes also, they said. You will see only the ball of sun rolling. You will not see the external rays. So that is what people should see. The aura should be there, but when they look at you, the light, like you see the ball of sun in the visual sun. So that should be a form. So just see what purity and intense fire I must collect for people to look at me like that ball of sun. Next, of course, Baba has spoken about the angelic vision. So angelic vision, at least we have got so many experiments when Brahma Baba speaks, how he comes down, then he does his work, then he goes back like the Father. So these two, this aura of light, angelic form, vision and light. So that whatever words we speak, people will not look at our lips. It is as if a sound is coming from far away. And then that is there. What a vision. I think this should be a beautiful experiment done as a project by all of us and experience it. Wonderful Behad Seva. And this is, and the one point which I like is, these are the 2 points only I'm going to concentrate: light and aura. And when Baba says, we say we are not getting sleep, we are not getting sleep. I slept only for 1 hour. But Baba is saying 4 to 5 minutes bodiless is equal to sleep. What a kind of projects Baba has given us. And we really need a big practical session to understand it. Om Shanti.
Wonderful and very well explained. Thank you so much for that. And one more example of lighthouse, which was very striking, and how you can be just at one place and do this unlimited service. So even that example was very interesting. So anyone else would like to share?
Om Shanti. I'm just adding on to what Kichapana said. Yeah, here in this Murli, Baba really gave us very good techniques to practice throughout the day, just to maintain that awareness firmly while performing any sort of an action, that I am an angel just stepped into this earth, incarnated just to complete certain task, and then as soon as I'm done, then I should go back, just like how the Father is coming, and once he's completed his task, he's going back. So Baba gave that example. And the more we practice this awareness will become firm within us, and it's going to take deep root inside us. So that's going to really help us becoming that form. And it is the ultimate aim is to become incorporeal. So before incorporeal, we'll have to have this form or take the form of angelic state. So the more we practice this, the awareness that will take that firm root within us, and that our awareness will also become so firm. Yeah, so this would be my takeaway for today as I go through or come on my day-to-day task. I will practice this, that I have come down just to complete this task, and I must go back after I'm done this task. Thank you. Om Shanti.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. And also Gurjavan has shared in the chat box that aura of light, angel descended on this earth, sound from beyond, and I'm an Avyakt angel. Okay, thank you. So now looking at the time constraint. Okay, another addition, I'm an incarnation that has incarnated. Yes, thank you. So there is one
There's just one more thing I wanted to say. I was just waiting for somebody to mention that. You said lighthouse, see all this lighthouse, spinner of discuss. But the spinner of discuss, I just do it because my Baba said. But I often used to think, Baba, just by me spinning and all, then only he'll say you'll become an emperor, Swadershan Chakradhari and all. If you honestly asked me, the concept of this spinner of discuss, because Baba said you have to do it 8 times in a day, I'm doing. But really, it has not gone down in my thing. But today, little Baba has touched to say why he wanted us to do that. Because people will say, oh, this person was first there, then she was here, then she was here, now she's here. Maybe to give others that vision, Baba saying, okay, you played that Swadershan Chakradhari. But here, and then this goddess of coolness, I thought it was always intense fire. Goddess of coolness should actually come at the end when there's a lot of fire, a lot of people are burning. I thought that was the time when I should be Shitala Devi. So I didn't understand this chronology which Baba had given here of goddess of coolness, goddess of intense fire. I like Vigna Vinasha. Like Baba says, I am Ganesha, I am out. So just this chronology of the goddess's vision, I couldn't get it in my mind.
Okay, so I'll just explain it. Like Baba said, initially it was the goddess of coolness, and later on initially, like during the beginning of Yagya, that is where what I understand is Baba is referring to. Initially, the part was of goddesses of coolness, and later on, now Baba says that the part now which is demanding is of intense fire or Shakti Swarup. So here Baba means that, initially when initially when the souls come in contact, okay, they experience the love, and then they get or receive the power. So it doesn't mean that you're not the part of Jwala Devi or the part of the Shakti Swarup is to just destroy, but it is to give the power. You become an embodiment of power, right? So that is the practical form that Baba would like to see. Can you hear me? Hello? Was able to answer it. And Baba has also mentioned it clearly in this Murli also, giving an example of a sun. Like just as the sun spreads its rays, in the same way, everyone around you should experience that stage of being Master Almighty in the form of your powers and specialities.
Yeah, I got what you meant, but I think I will just try to get it, because I often kept in mind Baba said Shitla Devi Banai. Now you're saying we should be first Shitla Devi, then only the intense fire. Just that a kind, when should I be volcanic? When should I be as cool as an ice? Only that thing I'm trying to do, because as I told you, it's a very powerful Murli. And so many concepts, so many things. I would be so happy if this Murli is practically taken and we could really experience each of these paragraphs. Every paragraph, whether it's a lighthouse, whether it's a signal, even that signal which Baba said, that responsibility, every paragraph is, it's something very different. We have read Murlis, but this is like for me as a final preparation going to the examination hall, we have these small bits. I would like to keep this bit with me, like I have the exam bits carried. It's a very profound Murli.
Right, because if you see, the title of Murli is that ultimate objective of making effort is to become an Avyakt angel. So Baba is actually preparing us for that Avyakt final stage of, what is the objective of a Brahmin life, is to become an Avyakt Farishta or Avyakt angel. So for that, it is like what are the efforts that Baba took, Brahma Baba or Maharatis took. So in the same way, this is the consciousness, this is how their vision was, this is how their efforts was. So Baba has actually clarified it in a very, wonderful way. So it is just a matter of practice now, and to stay in that consciousness.
Can I add one more point to this?
Yes, the time is very limited, but
Yeah, just one point.
last sharing, yes.
Yeah, thank you. Sister just mentioned that when to become Shitala Devi and when to become the goddess of power. Sometimes Baba also says into the Murli that when you come into the contact with Brahmin Parivar, with other people, you need to become a Shitala Devi. You don't need to show your aggression or the old sanskar when you are when you are trying to get along with the Parivar. But when you're working on your own sanskars, when you need to burn them, then you need to become the goddess of power, the Kali or the Shakti Swarupa. That
Right.
is one point that we can consider when to become what in that context. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you for reminding. So there is one announcement for Sunday's class, and we have our special speaker guest, BK Brother Gokul, IT consultant from New Jersey. And there is the special classes on Sunday, 2nd July from 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. And the title of the class is, the topic is Go Cool with Baba. So request everyone to attend this special session and also ask others to join and take the benefit of this wonderful class. So let us now move to the meditation. It's fine, Girjaben. Okay, so let us sit back, relaxed and comfortable. And settling all the thoughts of today's Murli or any other thoughts going on in my mind, I come back to my consciousness of being a very pure soul. Just that point of light residing in this physical body. It's so divine, it's so pure, it's so perfect. full of light. And I see this light, this divinity, this purity spreading in the form of white light. Spreading through my entire body. And slowly, slowly, I see this light spreading in my body. And my body is full of light. The physical form has disappeared. And I see myself in that image of light, an angel, which is so pure, so perfect, so powerful, and full of light. And I see this light spreading all around me in a circular form, in the aura of very pure light. I'm an angel, being of light, in the aura of light. And now I see myself as becoming the lighthouse and spreading this light of purity and peace to the entire world, connected with Baba, experience that light and divinity from him, and spreading this light in the entire world. Each and every soul is receiving this light and receiving God's power. A deep breath and bring your awareness back. Shanti. Thank you so much for joining our session today. Over to you, sister.
Om Shanti. Thank you, Baba. Thank you, Dr. Bhai. Thank you, Divine Family. We meet tomorrow morning at 5 a.m.
Thank you. Om Shanti.